Right, I left Boston in 2004. So I've been making the Vegas and the California coast my home, man.
Well, here's what I wanted to do. I don't know if you've seen, but I write articles for the website, and I
Mhm.
thought one of the stories that would be really cool is, we're trying to get back on the field, and I saw you
Yeah.
guys played, and I thought it would just be really good for people to hear about what you guys are doing and what the game experience is. So,
All right, my baseball name that everybody knows is Jimmy King. I left Boston. I played a number of leagues there: Yawkey League, Inner City, Boston Men's League. I played Cape Cod League and all over Boston. So I migrated from there, or let's just say transitioned basically to the West Coast, and as well as here in the hometown where I am in Las Vegas, Nevada. And basically, Brett, with this pandemic and everything, not much things have changed, especially where we don't really have a golden rule yet, where the cities have lifted the ban yet for us to come back to the parks to play and everything. So my guys, basically what we've been doing, because the game, we love the game. We've been kind of like squatters, on some of the fields, and basically we've put it together. Actually, one of my ball players has put together a tournament this weekend here in Vegas, and I think he's got something like 10 teams that he created. And we ran into a little hiccup in the beginning of the tournament because we don't have permits and things like that for the city, because the city's not giving us the go ahead to open up the parks and give us permits and things like that. But we have internal, let's just say internal organization where we make things happen. And the tournament was happening that way. And then, of course, we have some ballparks that we played on that's not normal. But we put the team together for the last couple of weeks, and we came out and played scrimmage. And we haven't really changed the configuration yet. We're waiting to see what the major league people are going to do so that we can see exactly what the umpires are going to do and things like that because of this virus. But basically, everybody that's come out has been clean, more or less checked out, prior to coming to the field to make sure that they're not coming from a circle of illness or sickness or anything like that. And it's been a blast. As you can see yesterday, we've actually had a 9-inning game. We hired an umpire, and it was a beautiful day here in Vegas.
so is the ump like behind home plate, just like a regular game?
And right, like I said, we haven't really changed the configuration. We came in, yes, the umpire was right behind us as of, basically the way it is now. Like I said, we haven't seen the new configuration yet because we're waiting to see the Major League Baseball open up again and see what they're going to actually do. I have heard of Little Leagues, basically. They opened up, and I saw this in the news, and I saw an umpire between third base and home plate instead of behind the dish. Even with the ball players, we're all 6 feet apart, based on our positions. But the kicker is going to be the catcher, the batter, and things like that. But I think before we play, we may do something like introduce, temperature or something like that. And then again, knowing that we're not coming from some arena of sickness, because you don't know where everybody's coming from, you know what I mean? But
Right.
let me put it like this. The bottom line is my guys and including myself, I mean, we got the love of the game in our hearts. And that's something that's just been really just beating us up for the fact that we've been shut down completely. So we need to get back into things, and everybody's working out at home independently and individually. But this was our third time getting together. We did 2 scrimmage practices, but we had a real game yesterday. And it was just a good feeling, man. Good feeling.
So during the games, is like anybody wearing masks at all, or is it just pretty much wide open?
It's pretty much wide open, like it has been, like it's never been, like they never missed a beat. Okay, but from my position, I come out with a mask, and basically I started with a mask, and eventually, I'm standing there because I'm coaching. So basically, at the dugout there, I typically keep my little distance a little bit. But at the same token, I'm getting the feel of everybody, a little brush here and brush there. But I think everybody's pretty healthy when they come out to play ball. You know what I mean? So I actually downed the mask, but then nothing's happened. And of course, it's going to take 48 hours, but I don't anticipate anything because I don't think any ball players have basically brought anything to introduce. You know what I mean? So everybody's been safe. And we're basically trying to wait until the Memorial weekend, so we just gotta wait and see what the next move's gonna be. Are you there, Brett?
I am. You're
Did I
kind
lose
of
you?
going in and out. The connection is
Hello?
the
Let's see.
connection's hit or miss. I
I can-
lost you for a little bit.
I probably went through a dead zone. That's all. So what did you hear last?
Well, you were saying that you were coaching a base and you sometimes wear the mask.
Actually, when I came out there, I started wearing a mask, and
Yeah.
everybody came out just like nothing's happened. So of course they came out with no masks and everything, and I'm standing in the dugout because I'm coaching, putting the lineup together and whatnot. And I'm standing outside the dugout, and the team's inside the dugout. You know, almost cheek to cheek, elbow to elbow. You know. Eventually, I donned the mask. In other words, taking it off, and just continued to coach and coach the ball game and videotape and picture the game. But no, I didn't feel anything, and I think my players understand that once we came out, because we had an agreement anyway, that nobody's going to be coming out there that has an illness or sickness or anything like that. So, like I said, with the configuration, we're playing baseball, just like
Right.
the game has been played. We haven't changed the umpire to get behind the backstop, down between third base or whatnot. We're loving the game, man. We got the love of the game in our heart, and whenever there's an opportunity, we're basically trying to strategize and do it again this weekend coming until they officially open up the ballparks and give us permits. So we're basically doing squatting here and there, but we're getting it in.
Gotcha. So one of the things I love about playing, even beyond the game itself, is just the conversations and the stories and the camaraderie and all that.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
But what's interesting in Boston, anyway, is, because we were hit the hardest right behind New York, is we don't have a lot to talk about, right? There's no pro sports. There's no entertainment. You can't go to
Right.
the movies. You can't go out to dinner. So there's nothing to do. There's nothing to talk
Exactly.
about. So when you get together with people, all you're doing is talking about their sort of interaction with disease. So I'm curious, when you guys are out on the ball field, like, does the conversation always go back to Corona, or do you guys forget about it for 3 hours and talk about other things?
The love of the game just steps up, and that becomes priority one. The joy, the laughter, the camaraderie, the togetherness, the good plays. As a matter of fact, we made several major league plays yesterday, and we're talking about the highlights of the game and stuff like that. The bomb hits, one guy teed off, put it over the fence. That's our conversation. Prior to that, everybody is just glad to see one another. The conversations don't really focus heavily on the virus. The city is basically, unfortunately, you guys are in a different situation, but we are in stage one, as they would say, and they're lifting things slowly. And they're actually opening up theaters, restaurants, and things like that slowly. But the question was about conversations. No, these guys, with the love of the game in their hearts, Brett, everybody's talking about baseball and just trying to get back together. That'd be our number one subject.
Right. So obviously Las Vegas is going through a tough time. The majority of the people who live in the city are somehow tied to tourism. Either they're working in tourism or they're supporting something in tourism. Right. How are you dealing with that? How's that impacting you, your family?
My family's not, well, let me talk about me. Well, I'm not really impacted that heavily. I'm retired. I have a little sideline, little business that I'm working. I'm doing some programming right now.
Okay.
And I got a contract that I'm dealing with mortgage finance companies. And in addition to that, I'm an insurance agent. Of course, that's not moving forward since this pandemic, but that's on the side. My wife is retired. My daughter, she's doing her own thing. She has her own little nails thing, and she has her little clients here and there. My mom's retired, and most of the guys, they have like one guy I know that's on the team. He's still doing air conditioning, so he's out and about. I guess you would call him essential. You know what I mean? And a lot of the other players, they basically are staying at home, and I think the government is really taking care of them with the unemployment and whatnot. But because they're younger, I'm the oldest guy out here, Brett. I'm 65, you know, and so I'm not too much worried. I've actually was able to. I live off a lot of memories, especially coming from Boston. But no, economic wise, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, and it seems like the guys that come out, they're doing okay too as well.
So you said you have 10 teams of guys. So where do you find these guys, from the existing MSBL teams, or is it through
Yeah.
social media?
Well, there's another league. Basically, there's like several leagues out here. One of them's called the Mexican League, and these guys are diehards. Okay, the Mexican League, they kind of act like there was no virus whatsoever, so they're coming out here and attacking it. The guy that ran the tournament, of course, you know, he's on both sides. He's black and he's Hispanic, and he basically orchestrated and architect this league, this tournament. And of course, like I said, he has this internal organization of players that some of them are Parks and Recreation that give the key to the field. They actually have the grounds crews and things like that, you know, because these guys have their own little services that they perform, you know what I mean? As
Yeah.
far as sideline work or whatnot. And a lot of it has to do with the Parks and Recreation as well. But the teams mainly have come from inner city here, and they're Mexican teams mostly. So a lot of it's a lot of camaraderie with the Mexican League, as much as it is with the MSBL and the NAVA. Now the NAVA was shut down completely. MSBL was basically shut down. But guys from the MSBL and NAVA are actually asking for invites to come out and play in the tournament and also play on the weekend.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've got guys wanted to play this morning, and they're from the MSBL, and I said, no, man, I did my thing yesterday. Today is family day for the families. I mean, for the teams and things like that. So they're going to go ahead and do their own family thing. But we're going to play this weekend coming. We have a field that we have designated that we can get on there, and we actually have a key to the field. Of course, what happened with the tournament, as I was leading to, was when they started, they actually grabbed one of the fields that we squatted on last week, and the marshals showed up. Okay, so when the marshals showed up, they shut them down. So they just had, you know, based on the fact that they got resources, they moved it to another field, and they continued. They moved it to another field, and they continued today. And the championship game was this morning, and the winner of the championship game was entitled to $2,000. So each team that entered the tournament, they paid $700 to enter, and of course, and that's out of 8 teams. So the winner gets $2,000.
So how many weekends is the tournament spread across?
It was spread across 3 days, just this weekend alone, Memorial Weekend. Yeah.
And is it night games or just day games?
It's just day games,
So
And go ahead.
Do you have fans and family that come down to the games too?
You know, believe it or not, yes, they did. There was fans and there was family on the sidelines, right, baby? Well, yeah, there were fans and family because we went up there for a minute, and of course we were wearing masks because, you know, I'm coming into a new environment, my wife and I. But when we got there, we didn't stay too long. Foul ball hit my car, and that was it for me. I was like, okay, I'm out of here. But I got a chance to see some of the guys that, well, basically they played for me during the season, and they've actually, you know, launched themselves into the tournament, you know, with some of the guys that they have camaraderie with, the teams there. And it's pretty cool. But no, a lot of fans were there and everything, man. They had grills and all kind of stuff. They were actually out there with an early Memorial Day weekend.
So what's the word on the regular season through the MSBL? And you said that the NAVA, what league is that?
NAVA's National Adult Baseball League. It's just like the MSBL. They're the ones that are down there in Florida, like Roy Hobbs.
Roy Hobbs,
the Roy Hobbs League. Yeah. So
when are those leagues talking about starting back up officially?
Officially, that is the question of the day. My league president indicated that right after Memorial Weekend, which is this weekend here, so I should getting some emails pretty soon from him to let me know what the strategy is for us to continue the season. A lot of the season has been forfeited, not forfeited, but canceled. So they canceled the season, and I'm just waiting to hear from the league president now because he did tell us that he'll have some news right after Memorial Weekend. So we'll see what's happening. Because look, guy, a lot of the teams are getting itchy, man. A lot of the teams are getting itchy. Everybody's running out to get practice in. They're squatting on fields to get practice and things like that. And like I said, when we get together, like, two teams together, we get a scrimmage going. And we know umpires. I hired an umpire yesterday, and we played a full game. It was fun.
Gotcha. So have you been back to Boston of late? Do you have any plans to?
I would love to come back, but every time I get ready to come back, it's almost winter.
Right.
And I'm like, I left because of the cold for number one. But I remember starting the winter league for you guys out there, winter baseball. That was so much fun.
Right.
Then I see you guys are still doing the 100-inning games too.
We're still
That's
keeping
really
it
cool.
going. Hopefully we get back out again there this year.
Yeah, but then I hope you guys do, man. I know you guys got hit hard too, but economic wise, that pandemic, man, is something else. Like New York was really a trouble spot, but then again, it migrated north, and it's crazy, man. I mean, it's real. I lost a best friend, a childhood buddy, man, right at the early stages of this virus, and I was devastated for a while. So I was a believer. Because at first I couldn't really grasp the change, the natural human change. I couldn't grasp it. But when my best friend and childhood buddy passed, it was on, I was a believer. So, right. And again, right now, so we go into stores, we are masked up, gloves up, we're still dealing with that type of thing. But eventually, with the stages of opening here in Vegas, we're just going to play it by ear and do that. I've been locked down. I can work from home, so I'm doing pretty good. Others, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can just say that, yeah, economic wise and more or less being healthy wise, I'm staying safe, because I got some underlying issues and I can't afford getting out there and, like nothing's happened. So.
Gotcha. Well, when this is all done, I need to get my summer back because it's all being taken away from us. So maybe I'll come out and visit you in Vegas.
Hey, come on out, man, and look me up. You got my number now, and because I do Airbnb naturally, but unfortunately, they shut that down. So I got plenty of room for you. You just look me up.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm going to put something together with this. I'll send you a link once I have it done.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it, Brett, and I love you guys up in Boston. I always will.